Hi everyone, I'm sure you've missed us. I'm Victor.
I'm Chidi Akunna.
Now, someone asked us a question. How do I know that I'm ready for a serious relationship? Not a relationship, for a serious relationship. And they're asking for our perspective on this. Now, the general thinking people have about relationship is a guy may think, I have a job now, I have some money now, all right, it's time for a relationship. Some other people will say, a lady may probably say, oh, my biological clock is
ticking
and I need to get married. All right. For us, we don't think that's the reason why I should get into a relationship, into a serious relationship. By serious relationship, we mean something leading potentially to marriage. We don't agree with that. So
why is that?
Now, having money is good, yeah, because you need to have money to look after because you are making a serious commitment. But that does not replace some of the things we're going to be highlighting. It doesn't replace that you have a steady character that can sustain the responsibility that comes with a serious relationship. By a serious relationship, something leading to marriage, like I enlightened earlier on. And we have some other key metrics that we think you should consider before you are going to a serious relationship. Do you want to open the floor?
What about on the part of the lady? Because she talked about for a man having money. What about a lady?
For a lady, your biological clock is not, it's a good reason, but it's not a strong reason for getting into a serious relationship. It is better to marry the right person than to just jump into a relationship because of it. Because when you think about your biological clock, I think, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, that can put pressure on you, and that can get someone to just be, you know what, I'm hitting 30 or I want to get married at 30, and then without you realizing, because you want to meet that target, you might just, get married, say yes to anybody around. But if you are a woman on a mission, a woman who has a purpose, anybody is not for you. Anybody will not do, because once you say yes to just anybody and you get into the relationship, you find out that this person doesn't share your values. This person doesn't have your drive. This person is pulling you down or pulling you back from what you are trying to achieve. In other words, being single now ends up being better than being married.
Yes. I was just going to say that because I was just thinking, we need to be thinking ahead, right? So 5 years from now, would I be happy about the decision I have made?
Absolutely.
10 years from now, would I be happy about the choice I have made? You see, and that's why it's important that we look out for some of the things before making that decision. Yes.
Number one is you are not afraid to be alone. Not lonely, you are not afraid to be alone. Now, why is that important for us? Sometimes we see people who are single and they are afraid of being alone. They always want noise playing in the background, on TV playing in the background, people always around, because they're afraid of being by themselves. They're afraid of capturing their own thoughts. They're afraid of what the inner thought, what is going to come out. Now, when you need to have somebody in your space, it's not the best time to have somebody. I can assure you that. Like someone said, when you get into the grocery shop, when you are hungry, you are likely to buy junk. The best time to shop for food is when you are not hungry, because you can really cool down and make healthier choices. So when you are desperate because you don't want to be alone, it's not the best time to begin to think about your partner. You might end up choosing the wrong person.
You got me thinking when you started saying that, because I was just thinking to myself, isn't that what social media is doing to us these days? A lot of us, married or not, are afraid of being alone.
Yes.
So there's that desire, that craving to want to, pick up your phone and just get online. So I think it's something everyone should practice.
Absolutely.
Really, that we practice to be by ourselves. It would be amazing, the burst of ideas that will come in such moments. And just knowing that, hey, I'm in control of my phone. My phone doesn't control me, really. Yeah, I think that's a beautiful point.
Another reason why you should not be afraid of being alone, or we are considering this, is that people who are afraid to be alone, they need other people. And so you find somebody maybe I didn't phrase it right. We all need other people. But when you cannot do without other people, it's not a good thing. So you find people like this who are relying to be happy. You need other people to be in your space. To be, to enjoy, your space, you need other people around. that is not a healthy thing, because what will happen is that you will demand happiness from whatever partner. You want the partner to make you happy. You want the partner to be the one that will do something for you to be able to be your best version. Now, the best time to be, to enter a serious relationship is when you enjoy your own company. So if anybody comes in, yes, they are going to meet you in a they're not bringing something that will go to, radically change your life. You're already having a ball. They're just joining the party. That is a better place to be.
And this has nothing to do with our personalities, right?
No,
because we know sanguines like people, they derive joy, they find energy, they get energy being around people.
Yes.
But that's different.
Yeah, that's different. We're talking about serious relationship. Yeah, that's just like that can be just for an acquaintance. Yeah. You want me
to jump into the second one?
Point, yes, I want you to jump in.
I think you need to get to the point where you're self-aware. And when I say that, I'll marry a lot of things in this one. Okay, it's the point where you are able to regulate emotionally. I understand my emotions. I understand my triggers. I understand why I feel the way I feel, and then I'm able to manage and process right. So that way the outcome is favorable, you see. And that's something I think every individual needs to be doing, really. Now, still the point of self-awareness, I get to the point where I'm clear on my identity. I know who I am. I know why I'm here. I know what I'll be doing. My purpose is clear. That way, I would make better decisions. I think I was speaking somewhere in the course of the week, and I said clarity helps with recognition. Now, when I'm clear on something, I can recognize the person I need to travel on that journey. When I'm clear on my purpose or what I should be doing. When I am clear on my values, you say I should know my values. I should know my boundaries. Boundaries as pertaining to my emotions.
Absolutely.
And this is where we should be driving ourselves. If you get to that point, you're still querying some things. There's something happens and you're triggered. There's an outburst that you're even alarmed at later, and you're surprised and say, did I really do that? You say it means you're not fully in control of your emotions. You probably, if I would speak spiritually now, that part of your life is not truly submitted to God yet. And it's a journey. Not for you to beat yourself up, okay? It's for you to pick yourself up and to get on that journey, because you would need a lot of that in marriage. You get to that point in marriage where really it shouldn't be that your emotions are beginning to drive a wedge between you and your spouse. That wouldn't be right. You see, clarifying getting to the point of identifying your purpose, your identity, your values would help you choose better, choose right.
Well, because they say birds of a feather flock together. If you know what your values are, like your values are, another way to look at your values are your non-negotiable things that you can't compromise on this one. So for some people, cleanliness is a value for them. They can't compromise on cleanliness. For some people, hard work ethics, that's a very close value for me personally. I can't compromise on laziness, mental laziness, any form of laziness. So you have to know your own boundaries to just know that your values, you say, these are non-negotiable. For some people, it's integrity. Someone who constantly lies. I can't compromise on that. So you just need to know your own personal value. Whatever I worked for you, I'm just sharing mine to kind of give you context in terms of what we're talking about. You need to know your own values. And that partner you are looking for, that's why I like what you said, and say, once you know your values, then you know who is right for you. You know the people that you know that this person shares your core value. Not all of them, but the most important one, very, very critical.
I like that you touched on the value of laziness, because sometimes we say these things and we kind of gloss over them. But the truth is, I was reading a question someone put out today, and the person was asking about a spouse who doesn't work, doesn't develop himself, is averse to learning, does not want to do anything, go for any training, apply himself to anything, no form of development.
And doesn't want to learn.
That's
even the most annoying
even when
part.
given the opportunity, right? And this person was asking, if you are the spouse, if you're this person's spouse, what would you do? Now the question then is, because some single people sadly see these traits before marriage, and they think, he'll be fine, I'll push him, or I'll push her, I would link her up with this person. That linking up should happen before marriage. I think we were saying this to somebody who was about to get married to someone he knew really we're not on the same tangent. But he thought I would be able to bring her along. Now it's been many years down the line. That bringing her along hasn't happened. So yes, you should be patient and allow these things blossom for some time, so you can see that okay, this person is on track. Then you know, okay, there's the possibility of change.
Another point is you've worked on yourself. There's an internal work that you've done in terms of, again, your emotion, your baggage, traumatic experiences, things that are skeleton from your past. It's not that you can work on it 100%, but the reoccurring ones, the ones that just keep popping up every now and then, you have to work on them. Because we always say something, that it is who you are that you bring into a relationship. In other words, the experiences, the marital experience you're going to have is a function of your emotional well-being, emotional states, your mental states, your physical state. So if you don't work on those key elements of who you are, you're going to bring that same thing from the past. So why is this important? Sometimes you see, we work with some single and you realize that, okay, first relationship failed, second relationship failed, third one failed, fourth one is about to fail. And by the time you analyze all the people that they have been dating, you see that even though they are different people, they have similar traits and similar outcome and similar things lead to the failure of all those other relationships. And one thing that they are often shocked to find out is that we say to them, you are the common denominator. If you see the same pattern over and over again, there is a law at work. So to stop that law repeating itself, there are specific shifts in your soul that you need to make. If you keep realizing that people get to know you closely and then they leave you, they get to know you closely and they leave you, and it happens consistently, there is something in your soul that is creating that pattern that you need to break. And that's one of the things that we do in our intimacy builder program for single people. So you need to identify that and break it. Otherwise, your will, we're not going to change it. Your, more like, I'll choose better next time, because you're not even realizing what it is. Yeah, you don't know because it's in your blind spot.
Okay, I think this is where we're going to draw the curtain, like they say, for this one. We'll share more points in the next video. We thought to keep it short so you can watch to the end. So look out for the next video. I remain Chidi Akunna.
And I'm still Victor.
And we've come to you under the umbrella of Foundation for Family Affairs. And at Foundation for Family Affairs, our mission is to connect hearts and raise healthy families. We'll see you on the next one. And in the meantime, go out and mingle.
Bye for now.
Bye.